Hello everybody and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Guapish Rule 34. As always, I'm your host, Tanner, and today I'm joined by my super special co-host, Nico.
That's right, folks. I know that last week, Tanner said some pretty sensitive things, okay? They weren't super great, and we've had a lot of people calling us out to disavow Tanner, but this week I'd actually like to avow him instead.
That's okay. I thought you were actually gonna say something, not just, yeah, I stand by him. Also joining us, super special co-host, Jackson.
What's up, guys? I'm here. I'm queer. I haven't said this intro in a while, so I figured I'd do it again for old time's sake,
Fantastic. Thirdly, joining us, my super special co-host, Dylan.
Holy smokes! I haven't heard Jackson say that in forever. It brought a tear to my eye.
As it did all of us. And finally joining us, our super special guest that you've seen before, but this time he's joining us not just as my brother, but as one of the co-hosts of the Hidden Insecurities podcast, Hunter!
What? It's me, but I'm better now.
Oh yeah, he's also a married man.
I am a married man. I guess that's probably the real reason I'm better now, but alright.
Yeah. Not because of my podcast.
my wildly successful podcast.
Do you think your wife loves you more because you have a podcast?
I think it's the only reason she started dating me.
Yikes.
That one really works at the at the bars. You just go up to a girl like, hey, listen to my podcast.
I've got a podcast. And guys, we have a very special event today. Today we are doing an Animal Battle Royale tournament, but with a little bit of a twist. So, I inquired from all of you to give me a collection of animals to put into this tournament, and the rules are, all of these animals are going to operate in a group of 100, and they're going to be filled with killing intent. They are not capable of more cooperation than would come naturally to them, and the arena is just a big thing with a bunch of different biomes that they can be in. We can discuss like specific spawn points if we really think that makes a difference to your argument. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into it, starting with round one as I share my screen here.
I am really curious to see how you're going to have this play out.
Hey there, folks. You might be looking at this and thinking to yourself, something seems a little off. Well, unfortunately, that's because old Top over here ended up recording the wrong screen. Don't worry, though, because you won't be looking at this the entire time for the tournament. You're gonna be looking at this instead. Now, this all begs the question, could 100 Tanners figure out how to record the right screen for a tournament? I'll let you guys decide that in the comments below. So in the meantime, please enjoy Facecam episode part 2.
So, we are kicking off round one with Honey Badger versus Black Mamba. Now,
this is going to be a tough one, because as we know, the Black Mamba is massively faster than light. However, the Honey Badger does have some outer-versal feats to him, so I think that I'm probably going to be siding with the Honey Badger on this one, boys.
Don't honey badgers, like, regularly hunt snakes?
Yeah, isn't that
that's why I'm pretty sure they have massive, like, venom immunity, so this is kind of a direct counter.
Well, but it's also of a certain level. The Black Mamba was one of the, obviously, more venomous snakes. However, might I also suggest, Honey Badger don't care.
Boo!
Honey Badger
Boo!
wins. What do you mean, boo? Get out of here. Honey Badger, I'm siding with you.
That's relevant. Come on. Everyone still talks
We all
about
love that one video of the gay guy from 12 years ago.
Wait, what? Is that what that's from?
There's no way it's only 12, dude.
Is that what that's from?
I'm just giving an estimation. It's probably much longer than that.
Is that where that quote's from?
What do you mean?
Moving on.
We're all saying Honey Badger
Honey
video.
Badger wins.
It's gotta be the Honey Badger.
Honey Badgers are specifically evolved to destroy snakes, so...
Yeah.
Plus they look cooler, look at them. You think they're a skunk?
Sounds-
No way, they're a honey badger.
That's true. I often confuse the two.
Good point.
Oh my god.
Next round, we have 100 gorillas versus 100 emus.
My gosh, who
This is a head scratcher.
So, Okay, so here's the difficult thing about this one, though, because, silverback gorillas, they only have, like, one big ol', like, fucking boy, right? So, like, are we talking these are, like, solely, like, male silverback gorillas here?
The suggestion or the pick was specifically silverback gorillas. Yes.
Okay. So there's going to be a whole lot of infighting here that I don't think that many of them are going to survive to take on the emu forces here, which, as we know, are capable of beating an entire country of Australians.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The real question is who would win in a fight, an Australian or a silverback gorilla? I don't know.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's... I agree infighting is a problem here, but, like, how many is that actually gonna take out? I don't know.
I mean...
The question is, how many emus does it take out one gorilla?
I don't even know if an emu would have the confidence to go for the fight on any.
Well, they're
of them.
filled with killing intent.
I forgot about that part. I think like 3 emus could probably potentially overpower a gorilla.
I think it might even be more.
But
than
like,
that.
regardless of that fact, even with the infighting statistic, I think that I don't think necessarily the silverback gorillas need to take each other out. I just think the sheer fact that they're being distracted by others of their own ilk and own strength is enough for, like, emus to do, like, a quick, like, flyby pecking or whatever the hell they do and just,
They'll disembowel with their massive
cuts.
talons.
Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts, as it were.
I feel like even if...
I'm going hard.
Even if half the gorillas killed the other half, I still think 50 gorillas can take down 100 emus.
I just don't think that's how it'll play out realistically. I think all of the gorillas will fight each other until only one remains, and at that point, they're easy pickings.
But if the emus are filled with intent to kill, they're going to attack before all the gorillas kill each other, and then at that point, the gorillas are going to be like, hey, these guys are trying to kill us, so we should probably kill them first.
I don't know. I feel like this is like every gorilla for itself and also against every emu, so I think the emu's got this one.
Okay, I'm going gorilla. We have 1 vote for emu.
I'm also going emu.
I'm going gorilla.
Holy shit.
Jackson?
I'm also team gorilla.
Fuck!
There you go.
Damn.
Ooh, interesting. Komodo dragons versus cassowaries.
What is
How fast are cassowaries? Are they, like, ostrich emu level?
I don't think they're ostrich speed, but they're faster than a Komodo dragon, presumably.
Yeah, because the big issue with the Komodo dragon is all it really needs to do is get one good bite on you and it's over. Is the problem here? But like, if these things are just running by.
But as I've learned from Taz the Tasmanian Tiger, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, as it were, as some people may note instead, cassowaries are geniuses, and they are capable of building complex machinery, which I think is going to give them a pretty big advantage here.
I don't think that's applicable here.
Yeah.
I don't think that's very applicable.
I don't know if there's any metal available in the biome, unfortunately.
Are we at a
Fancies himself a railgun.
Yeah, there's not a junkyard by.
Would a cassowary be capable of pecking through a Komodo dragon's like hide though?
Dylan, I just think
they're using their claws.
Exactly.
They have claws as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, Dylan, I feel like you just have a total misunderstanding of how these massive birds work. They're not going to be like just pecking at shit. They have massive talons that they'll be using to strike with.
All right, man. I'm willing to be educated. That's fair enough. Yeah,
I think the cassowaries have this pretty handedly.
I was gonna say, Komodo dragons are really only good against things that are about the same size as them and also roughly the same speed as them. If it's faster, I don't think they really stand a chance.
Yeah, I think they're just too slow here.
Cassowaries can haul ass. I think the endurance of the Komodo dragon is the thing that really gives it the edge here, though. I feel like a Komodo dragon could probably take a couple of hits of a cassowary.
Probably, but...
Yeah, I just looked up the
cassowary. I think they can't land and he hits himself.
The cassowary is 31 miles
going to
per
take
hour,
out a cassowary.
and the Komodo dragon's only 13.
Yeah, I think the speed difference is too big for the Komodo dragon to overcome, personally. I'm voting cassowary.
Same here.
I'm team Komodo.
I will go...
I want to believe the Komodo dragon could win.
I'll go cassowary.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Boo!
Okay, we got mountain lions versus dodos.
There's a reason the dodo's bird is extinct, guys. I want to remind you.
Spaniards, not mountain lions.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a
Dodo,
1-1.
easy sweep.
I don't even think this. As much as I like to indulge in the joke, I'm just gonna go for mountain lion here.
Yeah, me too.
It's got
Yeah.
You guys are a bunch of fucking haters.
Who actually picked the dodo for a second though? Hold on, I want to figure.
Jackson did.
God damn it, Jackson.
Alright, we got jaguars versus elephants.
I mean, elephants just stomp this, right?
I don't think elephants
Yeah.
stand much of a, or jaguars stand much of a chance against an elephant.
Yeah,
I think it'd take
usually-
probably 5 jaguars to even contend with an elephant, and the elephant will probably still win.
I was gonna
Especially since
say-
jaguars don't hunt in packs, right?
No, they do
they're
not.
like
Yeah.
solitary ambush predators.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not really gonna have any sort of crazy teamwork they can pull out here.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, because usually in situations like this, you see a pride of lions, they're all working together to take down a singular big animal, so...
Alright, we're gonna go elephants then.
It's got to be the elephant.
Okay, lions versus snapping turtles.
Lions versus
I
snapping
think this is
turtles?
lions, guys.
Well, hold on now, because that's the ultimate offense versus the ultimate defense.
I think you're overwhelming the offense of a snapping turtle. I feel like a lion's probably got a harder bite than a fucking snapping turtle, and even
That's
if
not
it
even
isn't,
what I was
then
saying.
it's...
The offense was the lion, the defense was the turtle. I don't think I've ever seen a lion get through a turtle shell before.
Dylan, you've
Yeah,
seen
but,
a
look how
crocodile
much
get through a turtle
exposed-
shell, though.
You're
I don't
going
know,
to the
man.
wrong zoos,
True.
Dylan.
The lion would just fucking tear its head off with its claws. Wouldn't even
Do
get
you
close
know
to
how
it.
fucking hard a snapping turtle bites, though? That shit's crazy.
very-
I
I'm
don't
very
think a
aware.
snapping turtle can deal lethal damage to a lion.
If it had killing intent, it could.
How fast is a snapping
Per
turtle?
chance.
It can't be that fast.
I mean, I don't know. I know
Not
that. I know
very
that
quick.
turtles
I
in,
mean,
I think they're supposed to be in the water,
yeah,
too.
they're in the
so-
water.
Yeah. They're ready to strike, though, dude. You, walk up to a snapping turtle, it's ready. Just,
I'm going lion.
Yeah,
yeah,
same.
I know.
Go Lions.
Same.
Go lions. Alright, we have interesting wild dogs versus porcupines.
As much as I like the defensive capabilities of a porcupine, that's literally all it is defensive capabilities. I'm gonna have to go with the wild dog here.
The wild dogs would be incredibly cooperative with each other as well.
Yeah.
I'm certain.
Yeah.
The porcupines are not. Well, actually, do porcupines hang out with each other?
I have no idea.
mean,
I don't know
maybe
They
either.
can make
pairs.
a phalanx system.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, if they can
Well,
coordinate with each other and just
They can
form a
create
big
a defensive
defensive
ring.
formation.
Yeah, they
Fun
can have a
fact,
fucking
guys.
outer ring.
Unbeknownst
We'll
to
give them the
people-
power to shoot their quills, too.
No, I mean, I was about to say that power has actually been debunked, but yeah, we can go with that.
It sure has, Dylan.
That's why I said give them the power.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think porcupines quilling a bunch of wild dogs just piss them off, and then
Yeah.
because that's supposed to be a thing where they stick them and then run while they're in pain.
Wild dogs do actually, they're actual predators of porcupines, wouldn't they be?
Are they?
I don't know if they
They're
are
both from
specifically of
Africa, aren't they?
porcupines, but
I mean, they would.
I think in the levels of food chain, I guess that would be true, but I don't think they distinctively go for porcupines if they don't have to.
True. I'm going wild dogs. I think the cooperation is a major.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I agree.
100%.
The peg with the porcupine too is the fucking needles aren't even necessarily lethal.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Wild
Yeah.
dogs would probably tank them, and then they just go for the killing blow. And there's nothing the porcupines can really do.
Yeah.
It'd be insane.
They're not even poisonous or something.
I was gonna say
No,
it'd be
they've heard
insane if they
of
could poison them somehow.
Okay, we got 100 hyenas versus 100 bobcats.
I think
Hyenas.
the hyenas take this. They're just too
100%.
cooperative with each other as well.
Vicious.
Also, hyenas
That's
have
true, they are
one of
pack
the
hunters.
highest bite strengths recorded amongst land mammals.
Bobcats probably would win in an evasiveness thing, but I think just the cooperative just blows them out of the water.
Yeah.
You're probably right. They'd have to engage in hit and run guerrilla tactics, and they're
Yeah.
bobcats, not gorillas.
I never realized this, but I've never actually seen what a bobcat looks like.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're pretty
So
cute.
that's interesting.
They
more
are
you
very
know.
cute.
They're adorable.
I don't think it's as hard of a sweep as you guys are portraying, but I agree it's
Yeah, no.
hyenas.
Yeah.
I mean,
gotta be
listen,
hyenas.
dude, the hyenas would just laugh the bobcats into submission.
Can you imagine how insulting that would be for the bobcat? It's getting mauled to death and they're laughing at it.
Dude, I actually think a hyena laugh is one of the most bone-chilling things you could hear at night.
Yeah, I'd imagine
Yeah, if
so.
I were walking around Portland, Oregon at night and I hear a hyena laugh, I'm like,
I got it.
my.
I gotta get out of here.
Next one. A horse
That is very
100
clearly a
horses
fucking.
versus 100 ring-tailed lemurs.
I'm pretty sure. That photo of the horse looks like somebody just unphotoshopped a horn from its head, but okay.
What
Are
is?
lemurs-
It's the horses, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I don't. What the fuck would the lemurs do? They have like no offensive
They throw
capabilities.
leechy
against
nuts.
Gonna crawl around them.
and paw their faces.
I haven't seen enough
horse.
episodes of Zaboomafoo to know how deadly a lemur can
Zaboomafoo scales to multi-dimensional.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay, so we have 100 tanners
Wait a second, hold on.
versus 100 buffalo.
I didn't know this was a choice. Buffalo, by the way, but
be.
I could beat a 100 of me. We're beating the buffalo, guys.
You're high
Come
as
on.
balls.
I don't think that's
Listen,
true.
I go into the urban biome section. I scavenge, metal, wood, stuff to craft weapons. I take the high ground in the buildings.
Yeah, I acquired the nuclear launch codes. I just don't see a way the Buffaloes can win here.
This pick
think
is.
it-
What is the buffalo gonna do when I climb a tree and then throw pointy rocks at it?
I feel
They're
like
They're
this
gonna tear
pick
the tree
is-
out of the ground.
The only biome that would work here is if it was like a Cabela's, but other than that, it's probably gonna be the Cape Buffalo.
Yeah.
This is an extremely arbitrary pick, by the way. I don't like. You could very easily logic this one out because you're thinking of how you would handle this scenario, Tanner.
It's a great.
Well, it
picture,
is
by the
me,
way.
so
I don't know if we can count urban biome though. Is that something? we
I
can-
literally specifically said in my instructions there is an urban section so that I could help myself.
So this was your plan
I
all
don't-
along.
Yes, listen. I think I'm beating 100 buffalo. I'm too smart for them. I can lure them into traps. I can construct spears and arrows and stuff like this. I think I win the fight. With 100 of me working together,
Do you think you could do all of that stuff at the same time as the Buffaloes trying to murder you?
I was gonna say it's not
Yes.
like you'll have prep time.
we could have, so like a faction of us distracted. Because I assume the buffalo, they're going to stay in one herd probably. I think I get 20 tanners, and I'm like, your guys' job is to keep the buffaloes away from the sections where we can scavenge material.
I mean, you're bloodlusted though, so wouldn't you immediately just want to kill the buffalo?
Yeah, but I can plan. I can use my rational facilities to in furtherance of the goal of killing the buffalo. I don't think I have to, just run at them with my bare hands.
I feel like this is an extremely arbitrary pick, and that you can just kind of model this kind of argument for any animal you go against for the rest of the tournament.
That's the whole
Well,
point of this
that's
entire
how
thing.
it is for every animal. Like, what are you talking about?
Even
could've
still, I
chose-
think I'm going buffalo.
If I could have chosen something with human intelligence, I would have, but I didn't.
You could have, apparently.
I'm gonna say buffalo.
Tanner, you've convinced me.
Okay,
I'm also
Hunter.
picking myself.
Hunter, this is the part where you argue that humans are not in fact animals, ergo this match should be null.
All I'm gonna say is Tanner's acting like he's Batman right now, and that he knows all the tactics he needs to take down everything in the world. I'm gonna have to go with the Cape Buffalo here.
Oh.
This would have been an extremely decisive tournament if not.
Very lame. 100 chimpanzees versus 100 wolves.
Oh man. See, the cooperativeness between these two animals would be insanely high, but then at that point it would be the killing potential of the animal, and I think the wolves. I mean, I guess the monkeys have like. Can chimps climb? And
Whoa, it's not a monkey.
Yeah, they can climb.
It's a chimp.
sorry,
Yeah, it's a chimp.
It's an ape.
If it doesn't have
is
a
that
tail,
is
it's
that
not a
actually a
monkey. It's an ape.
designation? Is that a designation for?
If
that?
it doesn't have a
Yes.
tail, it's not a monkey. It's an ape. A chimp is an ape.
Oh, I did not
Monkeys
know that
wouldn't
was
stand a
interchangeable.
chance against wolves, but chimps, they might.
I don't know about that one.
They could tear your face off.
I feel
man.
like chimps have a pretty solid chance against them too. Like obviously wolves are very
Yeah.
cooperative and they have a lot of offensive capabilities, but chimps have a lot more strategy. They're smarter than
Intelligence.
wolves probably. They have a lot more options for environment. Like they could just fucking sit in trees. and just like peck at them and just kind of like wait them out even.
Yeah, exactly. As Jackson was just saying,
as fuck too.
Yeah, they could easily go into like the urban biome and like scavenge for like tools and stuff like that to create weapons, you know.
Also, look at the picture of that chimp. He's just chill.
This looks like the chimpanzee from MVP.
Yeah. It sure does. I'm going wolves.
Personally, I'm going wolves. I think chimps are smarter, but like wolves are very intelligent at being predators, and I think that's what matters here. So I'm gonna go wolves.
Yeah, and like I've noticed like a behavior among like chimps and apes and monkeys and all that. Is it usually when one of them gets attacked, say like a wolf gets one of the chimps, a lot of the other chimps are gonna rush to its aid because that's like how they work. But then once that happens and they're all on the ground, then the other wolves like surrounding that wolf are just gonna fucking pop out of the woods and kill them. So I'm gonna have to go with wolf as well.
You guys remember?
Yeah, movie? I think the wolves win too. I think they tear them apart.
You guys remember Space Chimps?
Yeah.
It's the wolves, but I wanted to think about Space Chimps for a little bit.
Okay.
Just wanted to reminisce on better times.
Didn't they make like 3 of those?
Remember?
Never mind.
I think they did make 3 of them. Remember that terrible movie theater in Lincoln Cities we saw Space Chimps at?
I remember that vividly. It's the same one where we watched March of the Penguins and cried.
Yeah, we cried.
Insane.
Okay, wolves.
Holy shit.
100 black widows versus 100 hippopotamuses.
Would the hippos even see the spiders?
I don't think a black widow has the quantity of venom necessary to
venom
kill
does
it.
Take to take
I don't
down
think
a
black. Yeah, is a black widow bite even lethal to humans in most instances?
It's not.
No,
it's like
not?
small children, but
yeah.
Hold on.
I'm going hippo.
Let me double check something here. This could change the answer.
I don't think 100 black widows could take out a single fucking hippo.
yeah.
if all 100 of them bit one hippo, it's probably like maybe sleeping for like an hour.
I don't know. This stats here says it's 15 times more powerful than the venom of a rattlesnake, which a rattlesnake is capable of killing humans. So
yeah, if you like sit there and let it kill you.
Yeah, but what are the hippos gonna do? Not let it kill them?
Well, also, like, the thing you need to, like, it might be drop for drop 15 times more powerful, but you're getting far less.
Yeah. Damn, Tanner, this would have worked if you picked a smaller animal.
Yeah, it would have worked against a smaller animal,
were these
right?
randomly generated, or did you just...
There was a couple of seeds, but most of them are completely random.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're all going hippo.
I guess so. This is unfortunate.
Hippo it is. Now we have orangutan versus poison dart frog.
These are
now this is an
interesting
interesting one.
Oddly enough, I have to say dart frog.
I think the orangutan just kind of smack them and they die, and there's nothing that the frogs can do.
Actually, would this be the first fight that results in a... Could this be the first fight that results in a stalemate, I guess I should say.
So, my question...
Unless we're counting initial victory.
My question and argument that I will make this entire video is if 100 dart frogs jump into the mouths of 100 of whatever creature, and they both die, does the dart frog win because it initiated the killing blow?
Almost certainly some of the dart frogs will not instantly die by jumping into the mouths, though.
That's what I'm thinking. So you're saying there's hope.
But
I think the thing is, are orangutans smart enough to quickly realize that they cannot make any physical contact with the frog?
I don't
think it would take
so,
a
no.
couple.
I don't think any
I think it
animal
would take
be.
a couple. I think it'd take a dozen. Well, I don't know, because orangutans
I think
are
they're probably aware enough. I
intelligent.
mean, there is the rule of nature where if something is brightly colored, that means don't fuck with it. And I think they could potentially... Orangutans are smart creatures. I feel like they could probably reason that they shouldn't do that, especially if like one orangutan got like fucking paralyzed or something because it smacked it. I feel like they'd pick up pretty quickly. Oh shit, let's not touch the fucking poison dart frogs.
What's their counterplay though? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
They go to the urban scenario and they gather materials to craft.
I'm so fucking
tools.
done with this argument, dude.
Just throw rocks at him or something. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking, though. It's like, it's not even a fact of, like, can the orangutans kill or, like, notice all the dart frogs. It's like, can the orangutans do anything without they themselves succumbing to the poison of the dart frog?
However, there is one question I have here. How long would it take for dart frogs, like poison shit, to kill an orangutan?
I'm Googling this right now because I was curious. If you get like a millionth of an ounce of poison dart frog venom on you, a human that is, you'll die within 3 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah.
So if they get a lot more contact, it's enough to kill. Apparently, a single one of these frogs is enough venom to kill 10 fucking humans. So
I'm gonna go dart frog.
I'm gonna go dart frog.
I am too.
Yeah,
Whoever
too.
picked the dart frog, goddamn, you are fucking a genius. I forgot about this thing.
So smart and handsome and charismatic. Whoever picked that.
Yeah, dude.
All right, we have got 100 American bison versus 100 pangolins.
I forgot pangolins exist. These things are like cool-looking armadillo things.
Those are
Dude, they gave us COVID though.
Oh.
I don't
thought
know
that
how
was
much I
bats.
believe that. I'm gonna go with the bison, though. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna go with the bison as well.
I don't
What
know.
does pangolin even do? I don't know anything about them. I assume they don't have any offensive capabilities against a bison.
It's like what happens
They're like
if you.
anteaters, but they can curl up into a ball like armadillo.
I was gonna say it's
they
like
just
what would
look
happen
kinda
if
cool.
you combined an anteater, a armadillo, and like a sloth.
Bison sweep.
Bison sweep.
Oh,
That was my nickname in high
damn.
school.
We've got 100 baboons versus 100 rhinos.
Dude, baboons are fucking scary, but
Do I
like
state
not
the
scary enough to
obvious
kill a
here?
rhino.
There's a target.
Yeah, what's the
That's all I'm saying. There's a target.
True.
Take
Yeah,
that
I'm
as you
gonna
will.
easy rhino. Rhinos are a walking, like, living walking tank. As much I know baboons are violent as hell and can be immensely dangerous to people, I don't think they do shit against the rhino, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm trying, because like baboons obviously have massively faster than light mobility. I just don't see offensively how they can utilize that to accomplish anything, is the problem.
They're gonna bite the rhino's ear off.
I mean, they can like cloud their eyes and stuff and debilitate them.
Maybe.
The big thing is
guess.
that it'd be hard to, like, if baboons were smart enough to gang up on like rhinos individually, like one by one, I could see them maybe being able to get something done. But I feel like the rhinos just have too much defense and too much offense, and they could just overpower them before they could really coordinate themselves.
Yeah.
Are the rhinos gonna be able to effectively like hit baboons though?
I mean, if
Or
they're
is the
stampeding,
baboon-
if they're all...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
guess
just run
that's
them
fair.
over.
But if they're like quick enough and small enough, then they can't really like hit them with their horn or anything like that.
I mean, I don't think the horn is... I think you're focusing too much on one part of it. I think just the sheer force of two rhinos running into each other, or literally running over a baboon, or like whatever, literally almost any motion a rhino does to a baboon could be lethal to them.
But I want to see.
Yeah, and I
him
mean,
use his
rhinos
horn.
have thick ass hide. How are baboons supposed to get through that?
Yeah, there's hardly anything that preys on
Well,
the
they
rhino.
go to the urban biome.
We already did rule of three,
God damn.
Tanner. Come on.
Oh, you're right.
Now I have to do it two more times so it can be funny. Retroactively.
I'm voting rhino.
Same.
Yeah,
I'll go
Same.
rhino.
Alright.
there we go.
We've got 100 bighorn sheep
Next
versus
round,
100
next round.
polar bears.
Dude, I think
Does anyone have an argument for the sheep?
it'd be
Dude,
funny
they
to
can
watch
climb
it.
really well.
Yeah, they could stand on almost near 90-degree angles.
It'd be really funny to watch a bighorn sheep ram a polar bear right before it lands on top of it and eats and snaps its neck.
What
Yeah.
if the
Polar bears would be
what if
having
the
a field
bighorn
day.
sheep is in the grocery store biome and gets a bunch of Coca-Cola and hands it to the polar bear?
Oh shit!
Checkmate.
Oh, you're right. That
Damn.
might distract him just long enough. Alright, polar bear wins. Alright, we are on to the second round, ladies
I
and
didn't even
gentlemen.
get to vote.
We are kicking it off
Oh,
with honey badger versus gorilla.
Yeah, I think a gorilla will just
I
like
think
pick
a
up the honey
gorilla.
badgers from their hind legs and smash them against the ground repeatedly until they die.
yeah,
I agree.
it's not
like
not
the-
too difficult.
It's
here.
that scene in Avengers where Hulk grabs Loki and then just starts bashing him around. That's how I imagine this
Yeah.
playing out.
Pretty much.
I vote gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla, easy.
Mogilla gorilla. Cassowaries versus mountain lions. This is mountain lions.
I mean,
They're ambush predators.
yeah, but do mountain lions hunt in packs?
No.
They don't, but I don't think that matters in this instance.
But the cassowaries hang out in packs, so I feel like it'd be very easy for them to retaliate against a mountain lion that went in for the kill on one of them.
Sure,
True.
but since the cassowaries will be in a pack, that'll just naturally attract individual mountain lions.
I think it'd get scrappy really quick, and I feel like cassowaries, just with their tendency to bunch up, would have an easier time. Because I feel like it'd be a mountain lion would go towards the pack and try to get one of the ones like straggling on the outside, and a cassowary would get defensive with that one, and then the mountain lion would immediately get ganged up on, and then they're just trying to repeat until the mountain lions get thinned off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the
the
mountain
thing
lions...
is, once we get to those... Go ahead.
I don't think the mountain lions would just sit and wait and go one by one though. Once the first one goes in and the birds seem to be distraught or
Distracted.
panicked, then I think they all kind of run in and just start tearing things up.
Right. Because it's...
And
Go on, Tanner.
And I think once we do, even if we are, one lion runs in, kills the cassowary, and then gets killed, once we get to lower numbers and the cassowaries are less able to, do that gang up after a single, assassination, I think that's the lion's gang.
Yeah. What I'm thinking here is it takes... It doesn't necessarily take multiple cassowaries to kill a mountain lion, however... I find it far more capable that the mountain lion is easily able to take down a single cassowary on its own, as opposed to maybe the 2, 3, 4 cassowaries that may need to help the one cassowary that's getting attacked by a mountain lion. So I think by law of numbers here, based on not even cooperativeness, but just sheer numbers and how they operate, I think the mountain lion might have it here.
Yeah, I'm going
I'm
mountain
voting
lion.
mountain lion.
Mountain lion.
I'm going Team Cassowary because I think it's funny.
I'm also going cassowary.
Fair point.
Damn.
What are you doing, Dylan?
Mountain lion.
Okay, mountain lion wins.
Bunch of fucking bird haters.
It's not even that,
true.
dude.
I mean,
We
yeah,
gotta be
fair.
realistic.
Alright, big one, guys. 100 elephants versus 100 lions.
See, this is realistic, though.
Yeah.
Is this just
I've
turning into
seen
the
lions try to
biggest
take
animal?
out baby elephants before, and the elephants just fucking decimate lions. I don't really know what the lions would do.
Yeah, this goes back to the whole how many animals would it take to take down one animal thing, in which
Yeah.
case... Especially when you get, this is just another stampede animal. If you get a bunch of elephants that they all start running, bumping into each other, even if, a lion's on top of this elephant, if it bumps into another one, it either gets smashed, or it falls off and then it succumbed to the fucking stampede. So...
Yeah, and we've seen those videos where it's an elephant walking along, it's got multiple lions hanging off it, and it doesn't even really care.
Yeah, because it's got thick ass hide.
Yeah, I'm going elephant.
Same.
Yeah.
Elephants are OP.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll win.
Maybe.
This is just turning into what is the biggest
Interesting.
animal?
Wild dog versus hyena.
I mean,
Hyena.
hyena's bigger, right?
Yeah.
Bigger,
Barely.
more vicious.
I mean, a wild dog
Wild
is...
dog is smarter and I'd assume more cooperative.
Are they
No.
smarter, though?
They're
No.
definitely smarter.
Hyenas
I don't
work
think
in
they'd be
packs,
more
too.
cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're
This
both
is a
pack
very
animals,
hard
but
choice.
I gotta say, because yes, hyenas have the size here. Wild dogs aren't necessarily. I just viewed them as an Australian version of a wolf, which doesn't really diminish
They're
them
from
at all.
Africa, so that's a
That's a yeah.
interesting thing to say.
You know what. But I don't think bite strength has anything to do with this fight. But keep in mind, hyenas have a really strong bite. So one bite from a hyena on a wild dog is probably lethal. I can't imagine a bite from a wild dog killing a hyena in one go.
Sure.
And I
I
think
assume the dogs are going to be faster and more agile.
maybe hyenas are pretty fast.
I mean, just look at the pictures. The wild dog, kind of adorable. So, it doesn't stand a chance to the hyena.
Look at those big fluffy ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some big ears, dude.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse isn't doing
I can
anything
hear
against a
them laughing a
hyena.
mile away.
Let's scrap this entire fucking tournament and compare what their babies look like. Just pick whichever one is the cutest and have them go that way.
I don't.
Sure, let's pull that up real quick.
Oh.
Let's pull up a baby hyena.
I can't imagine that being cute.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that little guy.
I don't like that picture of it. Go back to the other one.
Looks like a baby bear.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a Kubro.
Oh,
whatever that is.
you think
Don't
that
worry
thing
about
has?
it. That's actually pretty
See, look at
adorable.
that.
Hold
Look at
on
that.
a
That thing has
second.
the
That's
capability of taking down
That's
a
AI
hyena.
generated.
Okay, so this guy, and then African
After you can.
wild dog. Let's see what we got here.
That's
They
a
don't have any. Or here we go.
They literally are
These
puppies.
Why is there so many not African wild dogs
They
here?
don't even know what it is.
Yeah, why is there just a fucking weasel in the pictures?
I think by default.
These are just.
The hyenas win.
I think it comes down to whether or not the coordination and speed of the wild dogs would be enough to take down just the sheer strength of a hyena. If it was just like a big scrappy brawl, I think the hyenas would win pretty easily. But if
Oh,
the
wait,
wild
here.
dogs
Oh,
are
holy
coordinate-
smokes, we found
Right
it.
here, guys. This is. Here's my next. So, like, hyenas, aren't they scavengers or do they actually kill shit?
I believe
Oh,
they're
okay,
scavengers
absolutely
unless
kill
they
shit.
have
It's
to.
both.
Okay. Wild dogs are more exclusively killers, though.
I mean,
But
that
they're-
doesn't matter if they both have
Oh,
killer
here we
and
go.
killing
They're
Girl
intent.
power.
Oh. Yeah, it's hyenas. It's gotta be hyenas.
Yeah, I'm gonna say hyena.
I'm
I'm also going
hyena.
hyena.
I'm going wild dog. But
Wild
that's
dogs
fine.
look insanely skinny compared to like hyenas are stocky, dude. Like they're big.
Beefy. They're
They
beefy
are pretty
boys.
meaty. Okay. 100
Oh.
horses versus 100 buffalo.
Damn. I mean, I think it's the buffalo, but like I'm imagining what that would look like because you don't
Yeah,
see
I
this
think
kind of shit every
the
day.
horses have more speed, but the buffaloes are just generally more coordinated with each other, I think, and they also just have more mass, and the horns would help.
Yeah, I was gonna
defend
say
them.
they have a much better means of killing.
It's true.
Yeah, the horses would have to rely on just like kicking and stuff, and I think the buffaloes could probably not shrug it off, but they could tank it relatively easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi.
the kicking is more of a stationary move, I think.
I agree with buffalo.
Yeah, buffalo.
We have 100 wolves versus 100 hippos.
How hungry are the hippos?
Oh,
They're hungry
Hungry,
hippos.
dude.
Oh.
I will point out, hippos are omnivores, so it's not below them to eat a wolf.
Hippos will fuck you up. They're fucking scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
How much
will.
money would you pay to watch a hippo eat a wolf?
I don't think I'd pay any money
I don't
for
know if
that.
I'd pay it, but I may or may not watch. I don't know.
Dude, if I were at the zoo at the hippo exhibit and the zookeeper walked over and he was like, dude, $50, I'll throw a wolf in there. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, for
let's
that
do it.
price?
I feel like that's infringes on PETA regulations, but okay.
I don't think, I think if PETA had their way, zoos wouldn't exist at all, so not a problem.
Oh.
I mean, for that low of an amount, though, I feel like the guy is just going to do it anyway, and so he's just trying to get a little extra cash on the side.
Fair enough, dude.
Like, today's my last day, we've got one too many wolves. Let's just see what happens.
I hate going back to this. This is another one of those how many wolves would it take to take down a hippo thing. But also, like, if hippos had killing intent, that's some scary shit. I don't
Yeah,
think
I think it's gonna be
easily
hippos.
but I also
Yeah,
think
this is
it's
a
gonna be
hippo sweep.
hippos.
Yeah.
Do we already have 3 people voting hippo?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we have 4 in fact.
Crazy. Yeah, I'd have to think about more, but we already got the votes. Okay, 100 dart frogs versus 100 bison.
I think that the dart frogs are just far too nimble for the bison to really, like, crush it all.
Yeah.
I mean, true, but like, how much of the bison is fur though? And if the dart frog made contact with the fur, would that in fact still kill them?
presumably not.
Aim for the nose.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, that's completely arbitrary
Land on their
to
big wet nose.
the logic of. I mean, if there was any exposed skin on the buffalo, like in this picture, for example, the back half looks like it is in fact skin, then that would make
Yeah.
sense. I would imagine the dart frog has to make contact with not fur, though.
That's probably a safe assumption. Yeah, I think it's just the bison does not have a reliable way of, like, stomping a frog.
Yeah.
Then vote the frog, not the bison.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's entirely dependent on what we're voting for, though. I'm voting for the frog.
I think I'll vote. Yeah, I don't. I think
I don't know. Bisons are fucking big, and they've got a very different
Yeah.
circulatory system than us. I don't know if the toxin on a poison dart frog would be enough to take down a bison. Honestly, I feel like this is probably closer to a stalemate than anything. But I don't see the bison reason would be being able to kill the dart frog. So I guess it's a stalemate, but also the dart frogs would probably just win from like attrition.
Yeah, I was gonna say the killing power, if anything, is more on the dart frogs. Not that the buffalo can't. It's just that I think it's or bison, not buffalo. The bison would have difficulties doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
more so
like,
than the
I think
frog.
that the bison could pretty easily one-shot the dart frog if I could hit it, but, like, what's all that power gonna do if you don't have the speed to back it up?
Right. Yeah.
I do just have a quick... Before we move on to the next round. I mean, I'm beating the dart frog, right?
No.
If you had
How are you
protective
gonna do
gear
it?
on, I guess.
Dude.
He run to the
Take
urban
the
zone
shirt.
and fashion a shield.
Take the shirt, wrap it around my
He's
hand,
got a
ba ba ba.
hazmat suit.
Why wouldn't you just grab like a bat or like a golf
Yeah,
glove or
grab a
something?
bat, you know, throw some rocks at the frogs.
See, this is the problem, Tanner. You would have easily
Start a fire.
won. You would have
use some
easily
fire or
won this
something.
tournament if we had let you proceed. You would have been the domineering.
You'd think
animal
Tanner would be able to
force.
take down 100 elephants?
Oh, I'm sure he'd figure out. He'd be
Listen.
like, guys, I'd go to the urban biome.
Tanner,
go to the urban
Tanner
zone.
can have the
I
Iron
start a
Man suit
fire.
and couldn't take down 100 elephants.
Tanner would come up in. Oh, wow.
Interesting. 100 rhinos versus 100 polar bears.
I think the polar bears are too slow, honestly. And I don't think, like, they're both big. Polar bears are, like, strong and scary. I don't think they have what it takes to take down a rhino, though.
Could a polar bear get through that rhino hide pretty easily?
I think they could, and the thing is, like, if you have a rhino running at a polar bear, I very much see them as being able to, like, as the rhino is coming at him, claw him, like, across the neck, which I assume is a bit of a weaker point.
I mean, maybe, but also, if that was the case, more like lions and cheetahs and leopards and all that kind of stuff probably would have done that, or the rhino would have adapted to that at this point.
Well, the polar bear is much
Bigger.
more powerful than
Yeah.
I know.
those creatures.
Out of all the fights,
So, like,
this is the one I would definitely want to watch the most.
This one would be sick.
could a polar bear flip a rhino, is what I'm thinking.
Right?
No. No, I imagine the rhino weighs much, much more than a polar bear does. By
I
a
think the
couple
rhinos would also
hundred
be
pounds.
much more cooperative than the polar bears, too.
True.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, polar bears aren't cooperative at all with each other.
No, unless they're a family, which, you know, not.
I mean,
likely
even
in this
then, they
scenario.
separate once the babies grow up. They're very
True.
solitary animals.
It might be.
So that actually
I'm
could
giving
be
it to
another.
rhinos. I don't know if the polar bears would be able to do too much, to be honest. The rhinos just have too much mass and armor.
I think the polar bear, that could be another result of infighting, like we had the situation we had with the gorillas, which would
Yeah.
ultimately result in an even like more of a landslide because the rhinos. It's not like the cassowaries versus the fucking gorillas or the emus or whatever. This is very clearly a much bigger, more dangerous animal.
Okay, hold on here. I'm finding information. A polar bear can lift about 771 pounds, which can't be true because they're human beings that can lift more than that, but whatever. And how much does a rhino weigh?
I mean,
Well,
I
I
think
think
it's
thousand
polar bears
pounds.
don't know how to like deadlift or anything like that. They don't do any training on their bodies.
I was
You're
gonna say
right.
What if they
muscular
did?
structure.
Exactly, if
and
they
a
did,
rhino
though.
weigh... Never mind.
if they had a month
Yeah.
to prepare,
A
they just
rhino
got
weighs a rhino weighs approximately 3,500 pounds.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think when I said a couple 100 pounds more, I think I was being way too fucking generous.
I'll go rhinos.
Yeah, I'm also
Yeah.
going rhino.
Imagine this, Tanner, if they were fighting in the Antarctic biome, you got a bunch of rhinos stampeding on the ice, they just break through and fall into the water. Maybe the
Oh.
polar bears would win then. But we're not going with that because we decided
We're
the
not
rhinos
yeah,
are
no,
winning.
doing that. Okay, we have
Oh.
gorillas versus mountain lions. This is one where the infighting amongst the gorillas might matter.
True.
True, because of the hunting style of the mountain lion.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, I don't think a mountain lion can one-shot a gorilla.
No, I find it very unlikely.
Yeah, meanwhile, the gorillas rather, will absolutely just like grab the mountain lion's tail and swing him around, much like Mario does to Bowser.
Will the gorillas also say so long, gay Bowser?
I doubt it. It just wouldn't make sense in that context.
Damn it. Yeah, I think this is just one-shot capability.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a rationale that really like gives the mountain lions a strong advantage here. I don't think I'm coming up with it.
Yeah, like, this would definitely be another one of those death by 1,000 cuts thing. However, I think those 1,000 cuts would come far too late.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going gorilla.
Yeah, I've seen
Gorilla's
Tarzan.
probably a
It
safe
doesn't
bet
really go
here.
well for the big cats.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah, if I could beat the mountain lions.
Oh, yeah, you...
100 elephants versus 100 hyenas. Does anyone
It's-
have an argument for the hyenas here?
No.
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 Does psychological damage count?
Well, elephants might be smart enough for that. They give the elephants depression and low self-esteem and they kill themselves.
Slowly over time, their lifespan
100
is decreased.
100 water buffalo versus 100 hippo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean...
The hippo comes out on top here, right?
Yeah. I would imagine a hippo's like double the weight of a buffalo, and also the buffalo has the horns, but like the fucking mouth on a hippo is insane.
The thing is, like, are hippo's teeth very sharp, or is it more of a crushing
It's
force that they
crushing.
rely
Yeah,
on?
It's both.
Yeah, so I almost think the higher speed and the horns kind of gives buffalo the offensive advantage here.
I mean, the horns aren't... I mean, unless their horns don't always curve in like that.
I mean, I assume that what they do is they, like, hit it and then they go... "Roar."
Maybe?
Sorry,
That's
what
a
do they
safe
do,
assumption.
They go... "Roar."
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Hold on.
Personally, and I might be capping here, I'm actually gonna go the buffalo.
Tanner, I think you are, in fact, that Kappa from Animal Crossing, because I think you're capping here, dude. I'm going the hippo.
Yeah, let me like entice you here for a second, Tanner. Let me indulge you on the sweet, sweet nothings of a hippo mouth.
I'm familiar with hippo mouths. I think another thing is, like, the hippos, they're only dangerous in one direction. When you come at them from, like, head on, they can't kick or whatever, so I think the buffaloes, they don't have to charge right into the hippo's mouth.
True.
And, like, even, like, let's say, you know, the buffalo charges into the hippo's mouth, hippo clamps down on the head. Is the hippo doing anything there?
Yeah, I think that they
Yeah.
would crush the water buffalo's head.
yeah.
I don't think a hippo is that strong.
They,
that it could,
I think they
They-
would crush its fucking skull.
Yes.
there's no way.
Yes.
Hippos have
that-
insane bite strength.
Also, hippos are far more cooperative with each other than you think.
They
Like,
just
if-
hang out all day with each other in a big fucking
Yeah.
puddle.
Yeah.
If a buffalo starts fucking with a hippo, there's like 2 or 3 other hippos that are coming over.
But the buffalo would definitely be all herded up.
Yeah, absolutely.
True, but this would definitely be a gang-on-gang situation where it's like one buffalo attacks a hippo, and then 2 other hippo come in and fuck up that buffalo.
I'm still going buffalo.
I think the sheer mass of the hippo is too much for the fucking buffalo. I'm gonna go hippo.
Yeah, I feel like this would get really scrappy. And I feel like just the endurance of the hippo would probably take out the buffalo, unfortunately, even though it has the offensive and speed. Because like a buffalo would go in for the kill, a hippo would probably take a hit, and then it would, you know, rebuke with like a bite, and the buffalo just goes down.
Okay.
And I feel like that just kind of repeat. So I'm going hippo.
Yeah, I know Nico's going hippo. Hunter, you...
It's really close, and I want to go buffalo, but it's probably not. So I guess the hippo can go.
Hippo. Moving on. Okay. Dart frog versus rhino.
I feel like it's gotta be, I don't know. I'm scared.
Now my question is, like, does the thickness of the hide mean that the poison is not getting into the rhino's system?
That's what I was just thinking.
I feel like this is a similar
There's no
situation
way-
to the dart frog versus the bison.
Is it not
Like,
just
yeah,
skin?
what's the rhino gonna do? I'm sure it'll permeate eventually. It's just thicker. And it's like, especially if you just have so there's 100 rhinos, 100 frogs, obviously. You just have one or more frogs chilling on a rhino at any given time, especially if the frog is just sitting on the rhino, not doing anything, and just letting its poison seep off of itself and onto or into the rhino in any way. Say it even sits on its head or whatever. If it gets into its eye or its nose or something, I just think it's a battle
just
of
be
permeability.
chilling on anywhere, and the rhinos can't get them off. Realistically.
Yeah, and I don't think they have the mental capacity to think I should get this thing off of me. It's killing me.
Yeah, I think this is the same situation with the dart frog versus the bison. I think it's a war of attrition. The dart frogs just win.
Yeah.
So what I'm reading here is that dart frogs cannot deliver a lethal dose of venom or poison to a rhino, and that
Did someone do a study on
this
that?
also says rhinos. This also says rhinos have a robust immune system and would likely be resistant to the toxins as well.
I don't know if does immune system have anything to do with poison? Is that
Probably.
how? Okay.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
I mean, that sounds like speculation, though. At the same time,
I think
Somebody
in
did a
my
study
mind-
about this.
I agree this is similar to the last dart frog round, but in my mind, if the frogs cannot deliver a lethal dose to a rhino, then the war of time is on the rhino side.
I think you sold me here, Tanner. I'm going rhino.
Yeah, fuck you, dart frogs.
What if I just kind of want the dart frog to keep going?
I wanted myself to keep going. We all have to kill our babies sometimes.
Yeah.
Rhino.
Nice complex hacks. I'll just crush you instead.
We got gorillas versus elephants.
It's elephant. I mean,
It's elephant.
I think it's elephant. I think the gorillas
elephant.
will give up a good fighting chance, but in the end, what are they really gonna do?
I'd love to see a gorilla run up and just
Start
on
beating
the
the
side of
shit
an
out of an
elephant. That'd be
elephant.
very
Punching it.
funny.
That'd be watch a gorilla fucking suplex suplex an elephant.
But then the elephant grabs it around the waist and throws it or something. Is anyone going gorilla here?
No, I don't think so.
only a
Yeah, I
madman.
didn't think
would.
so. Alright, elephant moving on to the final round.
Damn.
Hi.
Now this is
So
a tale
these
as
are-
old as time right here.
This is basically the same animal, and we're just evaluating which one is more lethal. Because even their lethality is coming from the same direction. I'm gonna go rhino here.
Yeah.
They're tougher. The
got-
horn is more deadly.
I was gonna say they
don't
have
think a
piercing
hippo.
damage.
If a rhino charges in and it bites the rhino's head, I don't think it could crush a rhino skull.
I don't think it would fit realistically.
That too, and also the horn. I think this is a pretty easy rhino dub.
It's got to be right.
Yeah,
I
think
really
armor
think that
and-
you're underselling the hippo here, Tanner.
I don't
Are
know.
you voting hippo?
I think the
Yeah,
height of a
I think so, dude. I think so. Because it's
Yeah, I'm going rhino.
sure, the rhino has the horn and stuff, but hippos are also really fucking big. They can be over 4 tons, And fucking
I
they're
don't think they
big.
can be over 4 tons. That'd
I
be
don't-
10,000 pounds.
that's
Dude.
isn't it 8,000?
I forgot how tons work. They're 4,500 pounds or something like that.
Okay.
I thought tons were just 1,000 pounds, but
No.
No, a ton is 2,500 pounds.
Is it 2,500 or 2,000?
There's a couple different versions of tons.
Okay.
I think the most common one is 2,500 though.
Oh. Okay.
Sure,
yeah.
Anyway.
maybe the rhino could outmaneuver the hippo potentially, but I still think that the hippo's big old mouth will be able to just crunch on that rhino.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I think you're out of your mind.
I think we're looking at this hippo is clearly the water type version of this ground type variation, and all that type matchup doesn't make sense because I'm gonna vote rhino.
Ignore the thing I just said.
Gotta say something stupid every episode.
I mean, while hippos are very adept in the water, they're still very capable on land as well, dude.
But, like, here's the thing. Let's take it from, like, a Hyde perspective. Hippos are squishy. That horn's gonna do damage. Now, rhinos are not squishy.
I think you just have the perception that they're squishy. I think that they're big old bodies that can take a lot more of a beating than you expect it to.
Fine. More squishy than the rhino is. What I'm trying to say is I think the horn and the sheer, like, ramming force of a rhino is more effective than the bite strength and chances of getting their mouth around a rhino is.
Do you think a hippo could just, like, flip the rhino?
No.
Like, they just grab them in their mouth and just turn them over?
For sure, no. I don't... If they weigh roughly the same amount, and I think rhinos probably weigh more, maybe hippos weigh more, I might be capping here.
Hippos do not... There's no way a hippo weighs more than a rhino.
You don't think so?
Let's look it up, dude. How much was a rhino before?
It was like 3,500 pounds.
Alright,
regardless,
and a hippo...
I don't think the hippo
They
has
weigh
the
between
muscular...
3,000 to 4,500 pounds.
Regardless of weight, I don't think they have the muscular structure to lift something that heavy. I know that the lifting thing's probably not even the real argument here,
What is this weight range? 2,200 to 9,900?
That's a big-ass rhino.
How is that even useful for anyone?
Just in case you want to know the true weight capabilities of a rhino.
It's for them big old fat ones, dude.
I think by sheer, like, defense and speed and, like, power, I think it's the rhino.
Jackson, you've been very silent throughout this discussion. Where are you landing on it?
I think I was pretty... I said rhino pretty early on, and then I'm just letting you guys fight for it, because, I've already decided. I don't care what you guys say.
Yeah, I vote rhino as well.
It's the rhino.
I've seen more dead hippos than I've seen dead rhinos, to be honest.
To be fair, there are also less rhinos in existence than hippos.
Also true.
Too soon.
Perhaps a predictable end one, but elephant versus rhino.
Alright, so what I'm imagining here is the elephant just, like, wraps their trunk around the rhino's horn and then, like, just, like, keeps him at arm's length, being like, haha, you can't hit me.
That's a very Ice Age 2 reference of you.
Wow.
Yikes.
I
mean, they got the same thing.
Could an elephant's tusks pierce a rhino?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think ivory is that strong.
However, I think that they could flip the rhino and then just stamp them to death.
I do think an elephant could maybe flip a rhino.
I was gonna say, they have the same thing going for them. I think as far as, like, hides go, they're roughly the same. However...
Elephants are basically just the forklifts of nature.
I've heard that said many a time.
I do think that the size is gonna come into play here, because they're both gonna,
As
like...
it usually does.
I mean, no, the dart frog made it pretty far.
You're right.
Shout out to dart frog.
I think, because, like, they're both gonna use ramming tactics. I think the elephant will try to flip the rhino. And, like, unless the rhino's aiming for the legs, which I'm not saying rhinos are too dumb to aim for the legs, but...
Aren't rhinos basically blind as well?
I feel like I've heard that before.
Oh, they totally are, aren't they? I feel like the elephant probably just based off of sheer size and strength has to win this one.
Yeah, I think it'd be close, but I think in this case it'd be the elephant.
You know which animal famously has amazing eyesight, though? Hippos. I'm still standing by it. I think the hippos would have won.
That's so
I don't think the hippos could take down 100 elephants.
They would have seen the elephants coming from a mile away. It would have been easy.
Man.
Yeah, they would have went into the water and the hippos would have fucking swept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think whatever the rhino does, I think the elephant does it better, to be honest.
Okay, final vote. I'm going elephant.
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 Holy shit.
Cow.
Unsurprising victory for the elephant.
The elephants win.
This really did.
Let's go.
Elephant was Nico's choice.
Damn.
Wait, what? No one else picked elephant?
I
I
think
tried
have.
to.
Oh,
You were just
gotcha.
first.
Yeah, you got to it
Okay,
first.
There we
100
go.
elephants versus 100 dart frogs. Okay, the discussion's there.
It is. I have to say...
That's a bummer. Rhino was my pick.
Was it? I thought... Oh, no. I think that was the one me and you conflicted over. I think Hippo
I also
was
conflicted
mine.
on that.
I think I got Hippo. I was like, Hippo's gonna be like my sleeper, like come from like victory from behind. Actually, it was also the Black Widow. I was going with the Dart Frog mentality. It didn't last very long.
No, it did
Dart
not.
frogs do what Black Widows don't.
Exactly.
I mean,
what
they
they
do what
say.
the Black Widows do better because they don't have to bite anything. They just have to exist.
You should have picked wandering spiders or some shit. Some like really aggressive spiders that have some mass to them.
Yeah.
I don't know what water egg spiders are. What are
Need some more
those?
mass
They're
to
those
our
fucking
spiders.
huge ones.
I don't know if I want
They're
to
just
look
like
this
they're
up.
just like big Brazilian spiders that hang out in the Amazon rainforest.
I don't know if I want to look this up. This is gonna scare the shit out of me. Here we go.
Probably.
Oh, it's these things? Yeah, these things are fucking wild. I hate these. Damn. Nah, I probably would have chosen like a coconut crab or something, you know? Or a coconut spider, not coconut crab.
Crap.
The thought was there, the execution was not. Have you seen coconut spiders? Those things are fucking wild.
Bye, Hunter.
Bye, guys.
Oh yeah, Hunter. Please tell the people a little bit about like where they can find you.
Yeah, guys, you can find me at the podcast Hidden Insecurities. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're about to get on YouTube too. You know, it's a comedy podcast that gets a little real at the end. So if you want to check it out, feel free. But if not, then I hate you and never talk to me again. So.
Yeah, they're amazing, highly underrated podcasts. Please go over and spread a little love to them. Tell them that Guapish sent you, and also beg that we can be guests on their podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Make sure to cut that all out, Nico. we're just putting on airs.
Bye, Hunter.
Bye, brother.
Holla at you,
Bye.
boy.
Anyway, hold on. How can I... Oh, wait. We got two different animal-related things.
What? What do you mean?
I'm trying to think of a segue to the movie segment.
I had not realized it had been this long. I got lost in the saucer in that bit. That was awesome.
Speaking of deadly animals, we're going to talk about some pretty deadly animals over on Guapish at the Movies.
Guapish at the movies. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Oh, he went the Chinese route.
He sure
Anyway.
did. Jackson, what did we watch this week?
Conveniently, our Patreon pick did in fact happen to coincide with the Deadly Animals theme, of course, that being the 2004 film Shark Tale, as requested by Steve Harvey's Ghost. Tanner, you want to tell us about it, I guess?
Shark Tale is the tale of a fish. He works at a whale wash. It's an underwater city that roughly resembles American society or something. He pretends to kill a shark. And he becomes all big and famous, and there's some family drama with the sharks who are also mafia members, and then he learns a valuable lesson about telling the truth once it is no longer possible to lie. The end. Fun fact about Shark Tale, this was the first DreamWorks film that did not have any human beings in it.
Oh.
Holy smokes.
What did you guys think about Shark Tale?
Man,
Shit!
this movie...
Shark Tale!
Yeah, Shark Tale. More like Shark Fail, if you catch my drift. This movie sucked.
I think my biggest gripe with this movie is this is like, I feel like probably targeted towards children. I know, controversial opinion. And generally when they make kids movies, they try to instill some sort of value with like and some messaging behind it. I guess this one is to be humble or some dumb shit. But I feel like the easy layup could have been like family values and things like that, but I feel like they just totally dropped the ball with all of that. On the shark side, like their son dies, and it seems like the father's reaction is pretty benign for the most part, as well as everybody else's. The fucking ending is goofy as shit too. It just felt like they didn't have a clear message for what they were trying to do, and it's very strange to me.
Yeah, like Oscar is just like a bad person, generally
Yeah.
speaking. Like It's weird too, because in the beginning of the film, they kind of set up as like, oh, like, he kind of like, he messes around a little bit, but he has a heart of gold. Because we see that scene where like he tries to save the headphone guy, the headphone guy from the whale burping or whatever the fuck. But then like that sort of heroicism just never comes back into play in the rest of the film. They just completely drop it and like, yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's a total fucking loser.
Yeah, like he just takes the money that his friend gave him to be able to like pay off his debt, and he's like, I'm gonna gamble it now.
Yeah.
Why were the sharks so chill with just giving up all their territory and being cool with the fishes all of a sudden? Like, I know he wants to support his son, but like, yeah, let's completely collapse our entire societal structure where we have massive power advantages over the entirety of fish society, basically, to be chill with my son. I feel like you can have like your cake and eat it too here.
Yeah, and also, like, what are the other repercussions for all this? Are the rest of the sharks vegetarian now, too?
Yeah, they chill. What the fuck are they gonna eat? They're just gonna wait for a bunch of old fish to die and eat that? That's not how that works.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Question, did you guys... So, like, this is primarily intended to be a comedy. Did you guys think it was funny?
I definitely did laugh at a few parts of it. Like, a big problem with this film, though, is that a lot of its comedy just derives from it making references to a lot of other things. And so they're just complete non sequiturs where these characters are just saying this shit out of nowhere. So if you don't understand the reference at all, then it's just like, why is the fish saying can't touch this? Why is he doing that?
True. Lots of reference humor, rather. Yeah, I think this is not a so bad it's good movie. But I do think this is a new form of movie for us where it's so cringe, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like... I see all of the faults and shortcomings in this film, and they come across as funny to me. So, like, I think I'm very rarely laughing at the things and for the reasons this movie wants me to, but I'm laughing pretty consistently.
Dylan, how'd you feel about this film? You've been very silent throughout this review thus far.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, he thought it was amazing. He was a massive fan of this film. We fucked up pretty badly here by not asking him to share his thoughts first.
No, I've been listening. I can definitely acknowledge and agree with everything you guys have been saying so far. I think that what really happens with Oscar in the movie is he keeps falling into the pitfalls of, like, what happens to most people in society, where they get a bunch of money and they're like, oh, I'm gonna use this for good, and then some big opportunity comes along because it's like, oh, I can make more money? Oh, let's just do that. That sounds good. Because, it pops up a big figure and he likes the big figure. The whole lying thing, it's like people want to lie in as much as they can, and Tanner alluded to this. It's like you can only lie so far until you can't lie anymore. Or like all the negative choices you make in your life, your decision making, will eventually like circulate back around to eventually like destroy everything you've created up until that point. And oftentimes almost leave you worse off than you were before. But somehow this movie was trying to depict that he recovered just in time for him to be just barely above where he was before. That's probably like the most analytical thing you're gonna get out of me about this movie. This fucking nostalgia hit me hard with this movie. I watched the shit out of this movie all the time when I was a kid. Fucking love this movie. But yeah, I agree. There are a lot of moments where it's like, it's so cringe, it's funny, but I'm still laughing at some of the other humor that they put in this movie. It's kind of whatever. It's a childhood favorite of mine. What else can I say?
Why are the fish designs so fucking ugly?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. The fish designs are horrendous.
Oh no, they're awful. It's bad.
Yeah, they try to make these fish look so much like the actors themselves, and it just comes across as so creepy.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, I have yet to see one. I don't know of any other, like, fish-based movie that tries to do what they did that made it look better in terms of anthropomorphizing fish.
What's that one fish movie? It's like Finding Jesus or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
Finding Jesus?
Yeah, it's like, so you see, Dylan, a lot of like these sort of like, they're kind of basically just shovelware, but for like movies. It happens a lot whenever like a big anime like DreamWorks or Pixar movie comes out, where they'll just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna like create some random movie that like is vaguely related to this other big movie that's coming out, so people will be confused when they like go to the store to like pick it up. Instead of Finding Nemo, oh, it's a fish movie about Jesus now.
Yeah, like Coco and Book of Life.
No, not like that at all. Book of
I don't
Life is an
know.
actual movie.
What are you talking about?
Think of like Ratatouille versus Ratatouille.
I don't know that other one.
Bummer.
Anyway,
What are we trying to explain to him and why right now?
I don't remember why this started. Anyway, did you catch the gay allegory in this film?
I think I made that obvious already, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I put it in the general chat.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it was also on the record here, because, like, the audience doesn't have access to that.
Oh, that's fair. Hey, yeah, guys, for $1 a month, you guys could get access to our Discord, and you can get access
Well,
to
they
these
don't get
conversations.
access to that channel.
Talk with us in the Discord, and you have access, potentially, to these conversations anyway. Sorry, I'm trying to do a plug here.
I appreciate it, dude. It's, like, sad how much this movie wants to be Shrek, you know?
Wait, what?
Like, it's very obviously trying to be another Shrek here, especially with
Oh.
the humor. But, like,
yeah.
with the reference humor, Shrek pulls it off very well, because the jokes are still funny without the context of, like, what they're referencing. But here, like I said before, if you don't know the reference, you just don't know what the fuck is happening.
True.
This movie stinks.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, I watched this as a kid too, but alas, I'm not blinded by nostalgia.
I don't think it's blinded. I think I still saw the faults in it, and it can't stop me from enjoying a movie.
Is this
That's blinded by
Yeah.
definition.
Okay.
Could this be the most black film we've seen so far?
No, we literally watched Undercover Brother and Do the Right Thing. I'm pretty sure there's a third one in there somewhere. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
8 Mile,
Yeah.
No,
Dawn of the Dead.
that's definitely not. No.
The Island of Giant Insects.
Maybe.
Alrighty, well...
On to the ratings.
Yeah, if we don't have any other thoughts on this film, Tanner, what's your rating?
I gave it a C+.
Wow. Dylan, how about you?
It's a lot better than I thought it was, actually. I gave Shark Tale a B+.
Wow. I'm giving it a C.
Yeah, I gave it a D+.
That's about what I was expecting, actually.
Yeah, no way, this is a fucking C-tier movie to me. And it lands at a C+ overall. How exciting.
Whoa! What was our next film?
My pick of the week, me being Jackson, was the 2018 film Maquia, When the Promised Flower Blooms, which is about the life of Maquia, who is an Eorf, which is basically just like some really long-living race. They like to make, what the fuck? He be all just, they make like fucking, they like weave shit. That's the whole shtick, and they like weave like their life's work into it, or like their life story into the Hibial, and it's very important to them. Their fucking village gets raided by some empire because they want to harness the power of the Eeyores to enhance their bloodline, and Maquia gets fucking estranged because of that, and we end up following her, just like basically her journey through life as she raises a child she finds quickly after, you know, being fucking separated from her tribe. We get to see her raising the kid, their eventual separation, and then the ending point of the child's life, because obviously she vastly outlives him. And it's a very touching movie. It's also an anime movie.
Fun fact, this won Best Animation Film at the 2018 Shanghai International Film Festival.
That's insane.
Pretty good.
Man, I thought this was a pretty cute little movie, you know, it does have fantastic world building in it. The relationship between Maquia and Ariel, terrible name by the way, why'd you choose that one? Doesn't she know it's the name of a Disney princess? Their relationship is very sweet, you know, initially, then it gets a little bitter, but then it becomes bittersweet, which is really nice.
Okay, but like, tell us how you actually feel.
That is how I actually feel, until we get to the final quarter or so of the film. That's when its shit gets, ooh, very similar to the second Harry Potter movie for me, you know, where, like, shit just goes so fucking off the rails. Like, the plot starts moving at just lightning speeds at that point, and just, it feels like they're just trying to fucking cram as much shit into that time as possible, and as a result, just none of it makes sense anymore. It's horrendous. I hate that portion of the movie. Initially, we were watching this, because Jackson and I had watched this previously. When we were watching this, I had remembered that I feel like I didn't really like how this movie ends, but like it's going so well right now. I'm really enjoying this. It's the emotional impact is there for me, you know? This is almost bringing me to tears. But then after the big fucking time skip, it's like, well, they keep talking about all the shit that happened during that time skip, and I wish I just saw that stuff instead.
Okay. Yeah, I liked this one. I agree, great world building. I think that's the thing it does best, is I find this world so interesting, and I like being in it. I think it's a solid story. I think this one is a better love story than a lot of the other anime films we've seen, even though it's like centered around like the love between a mother and her child. But I do wish it kind of explored immortality a bit more. I like they hit the beats you expect them to, but they don't really go any deeper than that. I don't get the sense that Maquia ever really questions or wrestles with her immortality. She's just kind of like, yeah, I'm immortal, that's the thing, and then goes through her life just like not really thinking about it. I don't agree with Nico on the ending. I can see his point that like they started shoving a lot of stuff in there.
And just think of how convenient everything is there too. Just like everyone is in the exact right place they need to be at any given time, dude. Like what the fuck is up with that? Especially when like the fucking one queen chick or whatever jumps off the building. To her knowledge, she's just committing suicide in front of her daughter. But oh no, it's okay. You know, Maquia's coming by on the last dragon. It's all good, guys.
That specifically, I agree, was pretty goofy, but like I liked, you know, that we got to have a bit of a cool action scene at the end where like all the different threads are coming together for this conflict that's been kind of brewing in the background as we watched it.
Yeah, I like agree and disagree with Nico. I do think the Achilles heel of this movie is its pacing. I think this movie would be substantially better. Dare I say substantially better. If it had like an extra half an hour, maybe even like 20 minutes, just for some, maybe just to give some more context to stuff that's happening on that ending scene, and also just fleshing out a little bit of the earlier parts, like the first like 3/4 of the movie, because there are definitely some scenes, like some emotional scenes, where it's like, this feels out of place almost. Like the scene that comes to mind to me the most is when she kind of flips out at Ariel because she's really stressed out about not being able to get a job, and she comes home and sees Ariel trying to make a fucking Hibiol, and it goes off on like him like never listening to her and like being awful, and like what the fuck, he's always like seemed like the perfect child whenever we see him. So there's not a lot of context behind that. There's a couple other scenes like that I feel like we should get some more context, you know, just some like maybe some like minor just setting shots even to fill out the story and provide more to the ending. But yeah, I don't fully agree with what Nico's saying. The fucking dragon thing at the end, when the whatever the fucking name, her friend tries to kill herself, is pretty goofy, but you know, it's a cute scene, whatever. The rest of it though, I feel like you could kind of make explanations for it. Like fucking Ariel is coming home straight from the castle to his wife. We know that Kryl, or whatever the fuck his name is, Krim, is going straight to that castle as well, so I feel like it's pretty realistic that they're kind of on like the same trajectory of a path. Ariel seeing her in the battlefield in that area is a little strange, but you know, I feel like you could make an argument for it. Maquia being in that area though, because Krim's going the same direction to the castle along the main road to get to the fucking castle, I feel like it's pretty reasonable to assume that this could all likely happen. So I'm not that fucked up about it though. I do agree the pacing is pretty fucking quick, but I think it's blown over as an issue mostly just because the emotional impact of a lot of these scenes, I think, kind of just makes it a non-issue for me for the most part. Like I get really caught up in the moment of everything that's happening that I don't really pay attention to these minor nitpicks from myself. I think this movie's fucking awesome. I don't know if I described that before. This is one of my favorite anime movies. I agree, the world building's fucking awesome. I think the animation and the art direction is really well done. There's a lot of really clever scenes in this movie. I do think it's fucking awesome that they actually did 2D animation of the dragons. That is very rare. Obviously, they do have some 3D scenes of the dragon, but like some of the initial scenes are 2D. That shit's hard as fuck to animate. That's a lot of respect there. Mm-hmm. I don't fully agree with Tanner's thing on like the passage of time and maybe Maquia addressing her immortality more. I don't think it's that big of an issue, mostly just because she was kind of raised on this knowledge and it's kind of ingrained into like what their society is. So I think they're just kind of fine with it, especially because they talk a lot about like the clan of partings, and I think that's a good way of describing who they are and what a lot of these like their mystical creatures kind of are. I think it's fine.
You'd think though that once she leaves her village and she's in the realm of like non-immortals, that, you know, stirs up some thoughts to her though. No, like I can understand that she's spent her whole life around other immortals, and so there's a lot of
scenes of her wrestling with the fact that she is going to like outlive these humans though, and I feel like that is kind of what you're talking about in some sense of like she was really sad when the dog died because that made her think about that she's going to outlive, you know, all of these people that she's grown to love over time. She's constantly thinking about the death of Ariel potentially and that she's going to have to leave them eventually. She's always having the words of the elder resonate with her, and it even comes back later into the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's fine, honestly. I'm totally fine with the way they explore it personally.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess I was unsure about the pacing at the end as well. Mostly just because I remember catching myself at one point thinking like, alright, what the hell is going on? What did I miss? Like, did the movie skip? But, I mean, I don't care too much for, coincidences, I guess, in a sense. I think in a way, like Jackson was saying, you could probably draw conclusions as to why everybody was in the same area at the same time. And the whole, like, wrestling with immortality thing, it was also, like, she was trying to, like, it's when Jackson was talking about that Maquia was, like, estranged, because for some reason, being an Eorf in the mortal world was just, like, something that was, like, heavily looked down upon. Like, she was always being judged almost at any given moment. So, aside from the fact, like, yes, she was, like, realizing, like, with the dog dying, she was realizing, you know, after she talked with the traveling merchant, and so he was like, oh, you're gonna outlive him, why would you take care of him, all this, and you're just a child, blah, blah, blah. And then, but she's really just trying to, at some point, the thought of, like, being a mother, taking care of Ariel, you know, trying to live her life, you know, focusing on what she needs to do to move forward, and, like, trying to find the other Eorfs. I think that, like, outweighs the thought of her thinking about her immortality, because it's just, like, such a, like, a casual thing. It's, like, something that's on the back burner, isn't really brought to her forefront until, like Jackson was saying, when the dog died. But yeah, I mean, this movie, like, enticed a lot of emotion throughout the entirety of it. I thought it was very sweet. I thought it was very touching. I like how the animation style was very different. I think it was very well done. And I thought it was like, because Jackson asked me about it like a couple days ago, but I was like, yeah, I felt like I wanted to cry like the whole movie. I just never really got there. And at the very end, when they started like basically recapping the movie and like settling on this is where this chapter of her life ends and where her next one starts, and truly fulfilling the Clan of Partings, which I thought was a really elegant touch to, like, kind of put a bow on top of it. That's, like, when it fucking broke out. That's when the emotions, like, flooded in. So I think this movie executed its emotions fairly well. But yeah, I thought this was a sweet movie. I thought it did a lot of things very well.
I agree. I just like all the characterization too. I think it's cool you get to see like the head night guy age over time and just his general standpoint and position on it. Like, you know, he was just like doing his fucking orders, but he still has a lot of fealty to the fucking Eorf that they imprisoned because, you know, he's the one working with her. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting seeing Krim's just like total fucking descent into insanity because he's just like so broken by like all his friends dying and his like one true love being fucking captive for years. I also don't think it's that big of an issue with like the big time skip. Like, we're following Maquia's life throughout this entire movie, and she gets fucking imprisoned for like probably I don't know, like 5 or something years or something.
But we also don't see anything from that time skip. She talks about how, like, oh, Ariel, like, allowed me to, like, get through all of that. He's, like, what really made me, like, you know, not go fucking crazy while I was there. I would have liked to see that, though, you know?
We're watching Maquia. We're not watching Ariel when the promised flower blooms. I agree, though. That's something I was talking about where I think this movie would do well with just a little bit longer of a script so that it could have fleshed some stuff out like that. I don't think it's that big of a deal, though. I mean, we've had plenty of other fucking time skips before. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I feel like his relationship with his wife isn't like that significant in the grand scheme of things anyways.
Did she get imprisoned after Ariel left? Is that what happened?
Yeah, Ariel went to go join the army, and then she very quickly got captured by the Imperials.
Did they show that?
Yes, they did. She was like fucking. It was like right after Ariel left. She was in her apartment, and then somebody breaks through her window.
Oh, that was the window scene. Okay.
Yeah, and then her friend comes and knocks on the door, and she's not there.
Yeah, I was about to say the scene I remember after that is like she's in a cell with like Krim or whatever, or maybe the Elder. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was Krim. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like very confused as to what happened. Okay.
Are the Eorfs an allegory for Jews?
I assume not.
I don't think so.
I do like the comparison of the different types of like the mystical beings too, with like the Renato, and it's they're all just fucking used up and they're just like literally burning away from overuse, and that's kind of what happened with the Eorfs too. I like the comparison you can draw there.
Yeah, but they're also
so
fucking heavy-handed about that comparison too.
So they're fucking badass. They're dragging that person into goddamn flames. That shit's sick.
I called them Lorfs throughout the entire movie, personally.
I liked the concept. I don't even know if it's a concept or whatever you want to call it, but basically they were trying to depict like this kingdom. While they're trying to be right and just, you can definitely see some corruption, especially from the outside looking in, because all this kingdom wants is to like gain power and amass it. Which in the form of the Renatos, they're just losing them. They're burning up. They're losing that. They acknowledge it. They're like, hey, we're losing our dragons. And then like, oh, well, we have to have the Eorfs so that way we can have immortality. And that like it's almost like a status thing. Like they had to have status, and that was basically like it was like a kingdom like doomed to fail, at least from my perspective.
How do you see them trying to portray the kingdom as just and right?
Because they're trying to show us the perspective from like inside the kingdom. That's why I said from the outside looking in, you can definitely see it was just them trying to gain power and try to be better than everybody else. But like it, the
big thing I think you're supposed to draw from that is that this kingdom's way of trying to amass power is just wrong. Like they're trying to use the power of other things when they should be trying to look more inwards. All these other nations came together, and I'm assuming the passage of time ended up producing a lot more weapons and different capabilities, which is what they were able to use against the kingdom and take it over. Whereas the kingdom was really centered on like their one goal of let's make our fucking bloodline pure with immortality and use badass dragons and shit, instead of like, hey, let's make guns so we can fucking shoot them. I feel like that's generally what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to agree with the kingdom with other fucking dumbasses.
Yeah. I legitimately was very sad when I was like coming to terms with this kingdom is ending the dragons, and now they are responsible for ending the Eorf race. It made me like world-buildingly very sad.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Shit.
But then we get that scene at the very end. I don't know how far I looked at, if I was supposed to look into it too far. We get that like one like screenshot bit at the end where it's just like a bunch of just Eorfs playing in like a spring or whatever. Is that like showing that the population is growing and
I don't. You
again?
can look into that however you want. I think it's just supposed to be like this is where the Eorfs are living with the Renato now. That's just kind of like their little secret area.
Yeah,
that'd be cool if they didn't die out. That'd be so sweet.
I'm assuming not.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to rank?
I think so. Dylan, what'd you rank this one?
It's really tough, dude. I'm between two rankings right now.
Which one is it?
That's what I'm trying to decide. I'm gonna go with... Yeah, fuck it. I'll go with the other one. I'm gonna go S-.
Wow. Number one, Maquia hater over here. I'm going with A-.
Holy shit.
Still a very respectable ranking regardless of your criticism. Though obviously I feel like you like the initial part of the movie a lot. I'm also giving an S-. I have very little flaw with this film personally. Again, like I said, it's one of my favorites. I think it's gorgeous. I think it does a really good job of ripping emotion out of you. In not a very exploitative way, I would say. But it's kind of hard to fucking say that. There's a lot of emotionally charged scenes, and I think they're well done, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And the ending is a little bit rushed. I wish it was longer, but I still think it's a really good movie and absolutely worth your time.
Number 2, Maquia hater. I'm giving it an A.
Holy fucking smokes, guys. It landed an A+ overall.
Wow.
Nice.
Which is a pretty good rank.
Rather respectable, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
One of the better anime movies we've seen. We've seen some garbage.
What was our final movie this week, though?
Dylan's pick of the week was the 2008 film Kung Fu Panda.
So Kung Fu Panda is the story of Po. He works at a noodle shop with his dad, and his goal is to be a Kung Fu master. Accidentally ruins the Dragon Warrior thing, becomes the Dragon Warrior. The Tai Lung guy escapes prison. He's after the Dragon Warrior and the scroll and all that. Po defeats him, and the values return to peace. The end.
Fun fact... originally, Mantis was going to be the hidden secondary antagonist of the movie.
Unfortunately, Seth Rogen isn't allowed to play bad guys, so he managed to get him to
Seth
around
Rogen?
that.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Seth Rogen's a funny pick for this movie. I kept thinking about that.
Seth Rogen is a bad guy, though.
Yeah.
Because he's Jewish.
God damn it, Tanner. I have to cut that now, dude. Jesus Christ.
You don't gotta cut nothing, dude.
After I avowed you and everything.
This is an oddly stacked cast movie for what it is.
I mean, it's a feature film DreamWorks movie. I don't know what you're expecting.
I don't know, dude. I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Dylan, did you not like this one?
Oh, no, I liked the movie. I just didn't think it was as big of a deal as you guys are proportioning it now.
We haven't said anything about the movie yet.
Nothing he's saying makes sense. Anyway, my major complaint is I wish this movie wasn't so fast. It's, the pacing is insane. We move on from everything way too quickly, in my opinion. I wish we could build things a bit more. But other than that, I think it's a fun story. Predictable, but fun. And it's got plenty of solid humor for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does actually have that sort of thing that Jackson was talking about that Shark Tale lacked, where it does have, like, you know, a good moral for kids to walk away from with this one about, like, the strength is inside you or whatever the fuck. Just be yourself and everything will work out or whatever. But to get ahead of the criticism that Jackson is going to have, you're telling me that this fat fuck managed to, like, train for one day and then beat Tai Lung after the Furious Five, who have been trained for, like, their whole lives or whatever, didn't do shit against him? No.
And regardless of that, I think the inner world building of it, or the meta of the world, I guess you could say, is that he is the Dragon Warrior. Of course he could do that.
He's the Dragon Warrior. He also has a very unorthodox fighting style to what, like, Tai Lung would be used to. You know, the Furious Five, they all very much so mimic some form of martial arts, whereas Poe is, he's very unique, you know, and the way in which he goes about his fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fat and has endurance. He's like Rocky. And I fucking hate Rocky because of that.
Oh, damn. Shots fired.
In terms of his fighting style, I think Rocky movies are fine, whatever, but I don't like the fights in Rocky because they've got little stakes, because it's literally just Rocky taking fucking hits over and over again until the guy eventually runs out of stamina. And that's basically what happened with this movie, too. It's stupid. The training is incredibly fast-paced. I don't really like Poe as a character. I think he's annoying, personally.
It's because you don't like Jack Black, you motherfucker.
I mean, that absolutely adds to it, but it's not necessarily the whole reason I don't like Poe as a character. I just think he's fucking annoying. Like that one scene when he's just like randomly breaking everything in the fucking kitchen to like eat food. That seemed like very out of place. And like, why are they just like constantly doing that? And like another scene where he's just like immediately gives up his hopes of being a Dragon Warrior when he hears that Tai Lung's coming to get him. It's like, what happened to all of that fucking passion and that work you wanted to put in, immediately just to give up right after?
Well, because the danger didn't feel real to him until that point, you know?
Yeah, he's a pussy bitch. Fuck that guy. This movie's kind of whatever to me.
I thought it was pretty fucking solid, dude. Like, the fight scenes in this movie, they are crazy. The choreography is off the charts. Like, these are the people who made Shark Tale, okay? You would not expect them to come up with something like this at all. At the very least, you know, prior to this film coming out. I thought it was fantastic. Absolutely the best kung fu movie we've seen thus far. Like, it's not even close, dude.
How broadly are you defining kung fu movie here?
Well, I mean, like, are you saying that Kung Fu Panda is not a kung fu movie?
No, I mean, like, what other movies are you saying this is better than?
Like Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
Whatever that wire one was. What was that?
Wasn't that?
I don't know if I did a
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, that's the one. It's better than those, is it not? I mean, what other?
I agree. I like. Are you including The Raid under?
I wouldn't say The Raid is a kung fu movie. No.
I think kung fu movie is often a colloquialism referring to any martial arts focused movie.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
It's better than The Raid as well, guys.
Yikes.
I think that this is actually, shockingly, contrary to what Jackson said, we finally have a good Jack Black performance. I liked him here. I didn't think he was, like, overly obnoxious or anything like that. I love all the silly fat jokes in it. Those were fantastic. Can't get enough of them. Oogway is also a fantastic character. Every time he was on screen, it's like, oh, man, it's Oogway again. He's going to be passing on his sick knowledge, which was always a good treat, you know? Like, when like, his reaction to when fucking Shifu comes to him is like, oh, we have bad news. Oh, there's no such thing as bad news. Tai Lung has escaped. That is bad news. And then, like, you know, like, he's not like some fucking incompetent, like, old dude where it's like, oh, he was just senile this whole time. No, he actually is full of wisdom, which I thought was fantastic.
I like him. Yeah, I like him as a character.
You're telling me you didn't like Jack Black's performance in Shark Tale?
I forgot about that. Holy shit.
Also, let's not forget about Tai Lung. He's a fantastic antagonist for this film too, especially the scene where he escapes from prison. Like that shot where all the fucking fiery arrows are coming down at him as he's trying to like jump upward. That shit was fucking sweet.
Mm-hmm. What a badass.
Yeah.
Why don't the Furious 5 have like any characterization?
Dude,
because it was pre-built into the movie.
What does that mean?
Their characters were set before we met them.
What?
Okay, but like we can experience what they are as characters while we're watching the movie still. They're all very similar. Like they've got like minor personality quirks, but for the most part they're all just kind of the same fucking character except for the Tigress, who is basically the same character but is just a little sadder and more edgy.
Dude, if you want their characters, you have to go and watch the show instead. Don't watch the other movies. I don't think they really have any character in those, but go watch the show.
I don't think they're really in the other movies is the problem.
They are still. I don't know about the third one. I didn't watch the third one. I also don't know about the fourth one either. I'd assume they probably aren't.
Not at all in the fourth one, barely in the third one, maybe in the second one.
Go watch the show.
I don't want.
I think the reason I'm thinking these characters have character is because I watched the show. That may be why.
Probably.
That helps a lot.
Dude, that sounds just like something Monkey would say in the show.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever caught myself making those references, but, you know, subconsciously, I guess, you know.
He would say if he can even see his feet. Dylan, were you aware that Monkey is played by Jackie Chan?
Yeah, he barely has any lines in this movie. That's why.
Yeah, I think he says like 4 lines.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, oh yeah, Monkey is Jackie Chan, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is true, isn't it?
Yeah, the rest of them don't even have that many more lines, to be fair.
Their lines are a hell of a lot longer, though, at the very least.
Sure.
Like when Poe's interacting with like Mantis and I almost said Python, the fucking snake, you know, and
Viper.
Yeah, Viper.
Viperous.
When they're chatting together, they're doing like the whole acupuncture stuff. Like, you know, they definitely have a lot more back and forth there. Monkey just like doesn't really interact with them whatsoever. He just like says his little thing, and then like they don't talk to him for 20 more minutes.
Yeah. Like fucking Tigress is Angelina Jolie, which is completely random, but you know.
That's not. Is that true?
It's true. Tigress is Angelina Jolie. Yeah, see, exactly.
How did we watch a movie with Jack Black and Angelina Jolie in both of them?
Oh shit, you're right. Okay, one of them's dying this week.
What are the odds?
Knowing our luck with watching movies with famous actors in them, they're probably gonna die within the week. Way to go, guys.
Oh, no.
We did it.
Oh shit.
Who's it gonna be?
That's the October surprise.
Anyway.
Alright, I think that our conversation here has run its course at this point. Tanner, what are you ranking this one, dude?
I went ahead and gave Kung Fu Panda an A-.
Nice. I think I'm gonna give it a comfortable B.
Damn. Okay.
All that glazing just for me to give the same rank as you. Yeah, I think it's like a fun kids movie. I think the plot's pretty stupid. I don't like the main character. The pacing's really fast, but the animation's good. It's got its moments. I like some of the emotional details they're doing. I like the relationship between Poe and his father, and the fact that his father is so supportive of his dream regardless of that. You know, there's some good messaging to it. And there's a lot of like value as like just some generic kids movie. But yeah, there's a lot of flaws that knock it down.
We didn't even talk about Mr. Ping. He's the best part of this film. I love that guy. Speaking of loving guys, Dylan, what's your ranking?
You know what's crazy is that silence isn't gonna get cut out in post.
It will get cut out.
I meant that anyway.
Okay.
You guys remember the whooshy finger hold? That shit was
Yeah.
crazy. The cleanup afterwards.
Did he fucking blow up Tai Lung there?
Yes.
Did Tai
you
Lung
have to-
cease to
well,
exist?
You have to watch like later movies to know what that movie.
I'm not gonna fucking
does.
do that.
I mean, Tanner's gonna do it, so you have no choice.
We'll see.
Yeah, I really like this movie. I think it's solid. I gave it an A.
Okay.
And that lands it at a B+ overall.
Shocking.
Holy smokes. Is the average ranking takes another life.
Well, alrighty. I guess we should pick some more movies now, shouldn't we?
I guess so.
Tanner, what are you picking, dude?
So, guys, this week is a franchise pick, but what we're gonna do is, as I said, the last 2 of my picks were themed, that being Look Who's Back and Yesterday. And there's a special little prize for whoever can tell me what the theme of those 2 movies is. Nico, you go first.
Time.
Holy cow. Time. Dylan?
Backstory.
Okay. And Jackson.
Love.
I'm gonna say Nico was closest. I specifically worded it as the old becomes new.
Oh.
So Nico, you get a little dealer's choice in what my franchise pick is gonna be. Whoa. Would you rather we do one of the film franchises that we have the least remaining movies to watch in, or the film franchise we have the most remaining movies to watch?
I'll go with the least.
Okay. I have a couple different options here.
God damn it.
They're tied.
One of them Nico would hate, so I'll go with the other one.
Is it Harry Potter?
It's Rocky 3.
No, neither of those are even close. We are watching Free Willy 3, The Great Escape.
Is that the last Free Willy movie that we haven't seen?
Yes.
Okay.
Surely everybody in my house has heard me yell that.
Why'd you even include that on your list of, like, franchises we need to complete at some point?
How is it not a franchise we need to complete?
Because it's Free Willy, we haven't liked any of the other ones.
I was gonna say, we haven't...
Listen, we gotta watch every movie that ever existed,
Yeah, you kept using that dumbass excuse. You and Dylan come up with a better one, bozos. So, like, you know, at this point, the experience was...
You guys said it!
At this point, you know... I wanted it to be a fun thing that we'd eventually get to, but I guess it's been ruined at this point. You know, the magic is gone. We're gonna get out of the way. Let's just watch The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
Whoa.
You're not gonna fucking wait 3 more years until I forget it?
Alas, I simply don't think that's ever going to happen if if these guys have anything to say about it.
We're watching the movie where he sees dead people. Anyways, now I'm rolling the Patreon pick of the week, which is the 1970 film Beneath the Planet of the Apes, as requested by Mr. T on Patreon. Thank you for the request.
Is this before
Fantastic,
or after
dude.
the other one that we watched that was from this era?
That was the very first Planet of the Apes film, Dylan.
Okay, so this is the sequel.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Boo, pick a better movie next time, Mr. Petit. Come on, quit wasting your Patreon picks. So, Dylan, how would you like to tell people all about the Patreon?
Alright, guys, listen up. I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to say it again. If for just $1 a month, if you go over to patreon.com/Guapish, you can get access to our pre-Guap, the show that goes on before the show. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Sometimes the juicy stuff is in there. You get early access to the episode before it goes up every Saturday. You get access to the Discord where you can request movies such as Mr. PT did. You can also discuss... in the chat, talk to us. You get to suggest topics that we may or may not talk about. And then you also get 500 slime coins for the bot that good old Jackson here made. And you get your name read out at the end of every single episode. Just like... If it'll load. There we go. GH. What does that say? Say... What is that? I actually can't read that. Nico, what does that say?
Slayed by Jay.
Blake, Nedagant, Dumb Gay Retard, Top Ramen Man, Joshua Bean, I See Dead People, Tutbot, Lucas Liddett, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you all so much for donating to our cause.
That's right. And we will be seeing you guys...
Our cause is getting wealthier.
Yeah. And we'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.